What is going on, my peeps? Your man Versatile is back with another video. Back here to talk about the Galaxy Tab S7 Fan Edition, or Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 FE. Yes, Samsung has made it official, at least in overseas, in like the UK area, because even when it comes to the price, it's a little bit skeptical as to why Samsung is pricing it so high. And one of the things that I do like about it is that they got basically two new colors, and of course they're going with the Mystic vibe in terms of Mystic Black, Mystic Silver, Mystic Pink, and Mystic Green. So we're going to get into what this tablet especially has, right, in comparison to the Tab S7 and Tab S7 Plus. Is the price worth it, and what are some of the things that are missing, which makes the price a little bit questionable. But before we get into the actual details, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, so that way you don't miss my videos. That way we can sit back, chillax, and see what's cracking. And I'm appreciative of you guys. Now let's get into the video. So as we see here, Galaxy Tab S7 FE 12.4-inch 5G. And you can buy now in the UK or in overseas. As you guys see, the price is 589 British pounds. So when you calculate that over to the US, it's basically $800 or $830. It's technically $821, but if you look at how Samsung would price it, it would be somewhere between $800 and $830. When you think about the Galaxy Tab S7, the 11-inch model, that's $700, and then I believe that S7 Plus is, what did I say? The Tab S7 is $700. The Tab S7 Plus is $800, I believe. So, or $830. So when you look at the price from that perspective, yeah, you're getting a 12.4-inch size, but one of the key differences in the display is that it's TFT and not OLED or AMOLED. So you're basically getting the 11 inches display, just bigger. As you guys see here with the colors, you got the green, you got the pink, the silver, and the black, which is really just a dark gray, or space gray if you compare it to an Apple iPad. But I like the new colors. My wife would definitely enjoy that pink color, or this green for that matter. These are her two favorite colors, believe it or not. You still get the S Pen with it. And then when you think about the design, it's still relatively the same, right? Now, here's the thing. You only get 2 speakers as opposed to 4. And we're gonna see that in the pictures later on. But they're still tuned by AKG, and I believe they're on the top, or one on, like in terms of landscape mode, on the left and right side of the camera. I think that's where each speaker is. And you still get Dolby Atmos. And now you get the Snapdragon 750G as opposed to the Snapdragon 865 or 865 Plus. You get you basically get a mid-ranger, or you can almost call it like the in-betweener flagship CPU for the tablet. And you also get an option between 4 gigs and 64 gigs of storage, or 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage, but it is micro SD expandable. Not too mad at the storage piece, but again, for $800 US money, or 589 pounds, for there to be a 4 gigabyte RAM option for a tablet that you would probably use for a lot of media consumption, I feel like they should have just did 6 gigs of RAM across the board as opposed to 4. And outside of that, again, with the screen, as I was talking about before, is it worth $800 US money? Now, it is still 5G capable, as we see here, which means it must be some type of an LTE model, which is pretty nice. You still get the 12.4-inch size battery at 10,090 milliamps, which is good, and it's promising to bring in like 13 hours of playback in terms of music or movie playback. I can attest to the S7 Pluses being able to get a lot of media time out of that, or even editing time out of it, since I use it as my editor for video. So I can agree that you're gonna get good battery life with the Tab S7 Plus, and it is 45 watt super fast charging capable. So definitely if you guys haven't seen my video on that charger and what it actually you know, how it functions for all devices outside of just devices that can operate at 45 watts. Check out that video. I'm sure I'll probably put a card up there right now. And then of course you got a camera, and then it says stay in center of camera. So that's pretty cool. Because the camera is located in the middle of the screen now, it's easier for you to position yourself in the middle of the screen. And it looks like, unless you can shift the displays, whether it's in Google Duo or another type of video call app, you can center yourself in the middle and have them, you know, kind of in a row at the top of the screen. So that's pretty cool to see there. You still get the S Pen, but there is another minor difference with the S Pen between the S7 and S7 Pluses and the S7 FEs. And that is the S7 FE's S Pen does not get the same low latency as the S7 and S7 Plus. Yes, the S7 and S7 Plus's low latency is 9 milliseconds, and I'm guessing that the FE did not make that jump from, what was it before, 20 or 42 milliseconds. I think it's still at last year's latency level. And I don't know how I feel about that, because again, when you look at the price, you're basically making people pay for a slightly bigger Tab S7. Well, I wouldn't say slightly bigger, it is an inch and a half bigger. But you're basically making people pay for a bigger Tab S7 with a bunch of little small things, the quality of life or whatever assurances. You don't get those. And so I think for those reasons, I'm leaning against $800 being a slightly too high for this tablet, but it is still gonna be a great tablet. I mean, depending on what you get it for, I guess that's also what that would be the case. But you can still, at least you can still use the functions of the S Pen, such as write the text and write in search fields, which is nice. And that's really more of a product of the software at One UI 3.1. So that is pretty good. You get 6 months free of Clip Studio Paint. So those who are interested in art and drawing, that's good to have there. You can also get Canva with this as well, as you see right here. So you're seeing a lot of good. Note Shelf is free with it as well, and you still get Samsung Dex, which is of course very promising. But let's look right here real quick. We see that the keyboard is completely different. As a matter of fact, it has refinements in terms of probably the style and quality build of the S7 and S7 Plus's keyboard, at least exteriorly, but the keyboard itself does not have a trackpad, and that's because the keyboard itself is built similar to the Galaxy Tab S4's keyboard design, which is all in one. So it's a book cover keyboard all in one. You can't take one off the other basically. And it houses it, which is why you don't get no trackpad. The keyboard is pushed towards you. Now, I'm not mad at this keyboard design either, because you still get the increased size of the keys, the backspace button, and the layout overall is still the same from the Tab S7 Plus's keyboard, which is what I like. So if you didn't like the trackpad, now you wouldn't have to worry about it. If you do like the trackpad, that is something you will not get, but at least you still have touchscreen and your S Pen. Of course, you can still take advantage of multitasking, which is good. And then when you break down the specifications, the CPU speed is, I think, maxed out at 2.2 gigahertz. And then let's see, yep, TFT, as I said before, which is LCD and not AMOLED. In terms of the cameras, you get an 8 megapixel and a 5 megapixel front facing camera. It appears to be full HD or 1080p 30 frames per second. And then on the rear camera, it is 4K 30. So keep that in mind as well. I like that they give you the available memory, which is of the 64 gigs, you get 46.7. So I would definitely lean and push you guys to get the 128 gig model if you guys are going to get the tablet. Now, would you store a lot of stuff on here? It depends on if you store a lot of your own movies, but if you're using a lot of streaming apps, yes, you can download offline. So again, for those purposes as well, it's probably a good idea to, again, go for the 128 gig model. All the different ins and outs, no NFC. You get Wi-Fi direct, of course, it's 5G as we said before, USB 3.2 Gen 1, which is good. Now let's get into the pictures of the tablet so we can confirm some of these other details. You can of course hide the specs. But if we come down here, I guess you can hit where to buy, and oh, okay, they don't tell you. So if we actually click on buy now, hopefully it'll allow us to actually check out the pictures. So as we see here, we got this picture, We got the picture of the back. That's also something that we see here. You do not have that glass magnetic backing for the S Pen because the S Pen is not Bluetooth. It's basically just an S Pen that works. And you know, the closer you have it to the tablet, of course, you can use the button on here to get some functionality. But in terms of Bluetooth capabilities, it is missing from this tablet. Good pictures otherwise, as you guys see here. Yep, you have one speaker on the right of the camera, as you see right there, and then the other speaker would be on the left side of the camera at the top. And as you see, there's no speaker on the bottom, which means there's no speaker on the bottom on the left side of the tablet as well, meaning 2 AKG tuned speakers as opposed to 4. So they really kind of skimped out on some of the features that the tablet otherwise had. And I think for me, that's something that I don't like, especially if you're still trying to charge $800 US or 589 pounds. That's a lot of money for a lot of the small things that you would otherwise want to see along with the tablet. I'm not necessarily mad at the LCD, but because it's lacking a lot of those other refinements, it makes it hard to really justify the $800 spending, at least for me, in my opinion. But let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think. Are you guys excited about the Tab S7 FE if you're able to get it? Let me know down in the comments below if you guys are grabbing this tablet. But I thought I'd talk to you guys about this tablet. I know it's been in the rumblings for a while about the FE. It seems like Samsung is getting very happy with making fan edition devices for their devices. We saw with the S20, and now they're doing the same thing with the S21. There will be a fan edition of that as well. So let's keep our eyes open for the new tech coming down from Samsung. We're still waiting on the flippables as well. But again, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, so we never miss my videos. Then we can sit back, chillax, see what's cracking. It's your man Versatile signing out, and until the next video, I'm so glad I got my S7 Plus, you know what I'm saying? Wait, boy.